Hello and welcome to Reviews with Whitney D. I'm Whitney D. Let's get into it, shall we? It's just my reviews. I mean, hey, I digress.
I'm Whitney.
It's exciting.
What up, you guys, and welcome to Reviews with Whitney D. I'm She. Let's get into this, okay? If you are new, do not forget to click that subscribe button so you can be a part of the gang. If you're not, you know how this goes, so please take a seat, get you something to drink, get you some chips or something, and relax. Let's get into it, okay? All right, so this past Saturday, Love and Marriage came on, and this episode I was really interested in. Now, I'm not going to give a depiction of each couple because it's one in particular that I really wanted to focus on, and actually one individual in particular that I wanted to focus on, and that is Latricia. She's married to Marsal. And the reason why I wanted to speak on her is because it really was near and dear to me. This particular episode in which she was what she went through. Actually, on last Saturday, the last episode prior to this episode, she touched bases on something that I actually dealt with and still am dealing with to this present day, and that's her speech. And I knew it was something always not off, but, different about how she spoke. In some cases, she not necessarily sounded like me, but it kind of came off as like, her articulation in some cases or kind of like, a little off in comparison to her husband. And so she spoke to her mom, and her mom was just saying, being down south where they're from, deep down south, education wasn't a major thing. And so, she always had that speech problem.
What else you got going on?
So how I've always talked about like improving speech and improving my communication skills, because that's like one of those things I've always had an issue with. So I really need to fix that problem.
So some of the issues that I'm having when it comes to communication is the pronunciation of certain words and sounds and syllables and also vowel sounds.
Growing up with my great aunties, being around grandma all the time, grandma didn't have a high education. Then you had me when you were 16. So it wasn't like education was a main topic to talk about in our family.
My mom, she wanted us to succeed. She wanted us to have a good life, but she didn't know how to do it.
And I don't fault anybody. It is what it is. I grew up the way I grew
Right.
up. Once I got into middle school, honestly, that's when I noticed the difference. And when me and my group of friends will hang out, I'll say something, they'll laugh, and then they'll correct me. So it shut me down. Having this little voice in the back of my mind, like, no,
Right.
Don't speak up. Don't speak up. Keep quiet. Don't raise your hand. Stay in the back. Don't let them see you.
Because you was embarrassed in the way that you spoken and the way that you would speak things out. You was embarrassed of it. I didn't even really speak well until I was like 7, 8 years old. So that's where the speech therapy coming in at
You went
years.
to a speech therapist
Yes.
when you was in
While I was in
elementary school?
all the way up till I got to middle school.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, you're trying to get to that stage where I never got to.
It's interesting talking to my mom and learning that she actually needed a speech pathologist in school. I just didn't know how serious it was for her. And I noticed that Macy has experienced the same problem. I don't want the cycle to keep going and going and going. I want it to stop.
So this particular episode, she really delved deep into it, so much so that she went and sat down with a speech therapist. And as they was speaking, she brought up the fact of the matter that she wants to do something, because in comparison to her husband, hearing him speak, and he's from up north, hearing him speak and hearing her speak, she just kind of gets a little kind of embarrassed, if you will. In some cases, she really doesn't speak as much because she doesn't want to sound dumb. And the therapist said something so pivotal that actually spoke to me too, and that was that just because you can articulate that you speak better doesn't mean that you're any smarter, or just because because you can't doesn't mean that you're any dumber. Check out this clip, and I'm going to come back with my commentary, okay? Okay, so you were able to check out that clip. Majority of it was audio. I didn't want to get flagged, but yeah, that was very deep to me because growing up, I always had a speech impediment. You guys hear from time to time I do a lot of and a lot of gasp. And the thing is that because I do still suffer from my speech impediment, I had a bad lisp growing up, as well as I stuttered. My tongue to this present day needs to be clipped so maybe it can allow me to articulate a lot better, but I'm just so terrified and scared of a few things. One, the procedure, because they use a laser, but I'm just scared of just experiencing that, seeing blood and all that stuff like that, Lord. But also just how I would sound, how it would look. I'm just so used to what I am, in a comfort zone, if you will. And so, anywho, just in regards to that, growing up, I had all these issues, and so they caught it kind of later in life where I got into elementary, and I actually spoke about this on some videos back in regards to my daughter, Demi, suffers from the same thing. She takes from both her mother and father with the speech impediment. My husband actually used to pronunciate P's as F's and T's as W's, whatever the case may be. But like she said, growing up, she would say Fifi, and that means she needed to go pee-pee, So, and that was something that she got from my husband, which we later found out being amongst his family, and them talking about stories and things like that. And then she just recently started stuttering, and I was like, oh my God, that's something that I do. She's 4, and she's in Head Start, and so they actually have placed her into this speech program, so they are actually catching it way earlier than they caught mine. I think I was in like 3rd grade before they actually start placing me in speech and things to that nature. But it was just a very good episode, and it really touched deep to me because she took care of her family, she's taking care of her family, she's doing everything for everybody else. And so she said, you know what, let me focus on me. And that's what I plan on going into 2020. It's more so focused on Whitney, trying to do better for Whitney, get Whitney better and a better mental health, physical health, and all of the above. And so I'm speaking to you out there. If you have something that you don't like about you, fix it. Not necessarily change it and, morph it or mutilate it. Just improve it. Do something better so you can be happy about you, because you have to live with you, So just say all that to say that, this particular episode really, really touched me. And you never know what a person is going through. You never know a person's story until you hear it. And I used to have a lot of people on here try to talk about me, my articulation, talk about, I'm long-winded and this and that. Third. Well, it's taken a lot for me to get out a few speeches. Okay. But anyways, that is the video, you guys. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Do you suffer from some kind of speech impediment, or do you have something that you are wanting to work on? I encourage you, okay? But with that being said, please leave your comments down below. While you're there, please take out the time to like, share, and subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so very much. Do not forget to click that notification bell, however, so you'll know every time I upload. Thank you so very much. This has been Reviews with Whitney D, and I'm She, signing off. Bye.
I digress. Signing off. Deuces.